my name is Kylie, and in today's video, I'm going to bring you guys something that is pretty viral right now for the fall season. We are going to be doing the perfect hosting caramel apple bar, and it's going to be so delicious. I cannot wait to do it. So here are a few things that we already got so far. We got this really cool piece yesterday at Home Goods to incorporate. They are these like little jack-o'-lantern guys that hang on this cute little post, and the post even has a little bat on it, which is just so adorable. It's a Martha Stewart piece for $30. Me and my mom decided that this would be perfect, so you can add your dipping sauces maybe inside, like your caramel or your chocolate, or even display your different type of apples. You're also going to need some candles, I'm pretty sure, to keep your caramel sauce warm, or you can use like a crock pot. I see a lot of people use the crock pots. They fill with warm water and then they put all their caramel in that so they stay nice and melty. Unfortunately, our crock pot is like a floral and it doesn't really match with Halloween, so we opted for candles. What is a caramel apple without an apple? So you're gonna definitely need to get some of them. For your dip sauces, we have these little caramels which we're going to melt. We also have milk chocolate, and last but not least, some white chocolate. For the toppings, we have some good stuff like mini M&Ms, because that would definitely be delicious. And then we also have Butterfinger and Heath Crumble. You can add any type of toppings like little marshmallows, maybe even some sprinkles, which we have some Halloween sprinkles I think we're going to use. You will also want a little area where you can set up your caramel apple bar, like maybe a cute little tablecloth, maybe a table runner, and some charcuterie boards. So today we're going to take all of this and turn it into the most delicious, super festive fall caramel apple bar for this season. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. You want a caramel apple? After removing the placemats at our round dining table, I decided to set up the caramel apple bar over here because I love the nice natural filtered lighting that comes through our sheer curtains. And then I also decided to kind of elevate our dining table by adding a runner, but not one that's too busy, just a simple white one that has the fall pumpkin embroidered details. And then I also accompanied that with a gorgeous fall foliage piece just to bring more in that warmth and draw your eyes upward a little bit. And then now we can actually start preparing the bar. I just laid down a gorgeous checkered charcuterie board, which then we did place our pumpkin little type of serving dish on top, which we will melt our dipping sauces into later. To kind of elevate this area a little bit more, I had this basket laying around, which I thought would just be so adorable to place next to the setup and fill it with a bunch of extra apples. One, because I feel like it just adds so much more detail and coziness to the caramel apple bar, but then you also have some extra apples if needed on hand. I just feel like that the texture of the basket just brings a lot more warmth and coziness into the setup of our bar. You are also going to need a way to keep your dipping sauces warm. Like I said before, people use crock pots, but since we have this gorgeous little trio of jack-o'-lantern guys for our dipping sauces, we decided to use tea lights as our heat source to keep it warm. And after a little bit of experimenting, we figured out that we only really needed like 2 tea lights under each of the jack-o'-lanterns to keep it warm. You can also play around with all kinds of other trays and little dishes that you can cut up your apples in or pour your candy in as well. We decided to go with this gorgeous long black one that just perfectly fit the size of our charcuterie board and styled that up with some little pumpkin ramekin dishes. finalize the setup, we had this stunning round gold tray, which I placed by the basket of apples, which we will also add our sliced apples on top of. And then in the little extra space on our tray for the toppings, I added a pumpkin mug, which fit nicely some skewers. That way you can use them to hands-free stab an apple and then dip it into the caramel sauce without making a mess all over your hands. So now we are going to go through and cut up some apples, and I'm going to show you guys a little trick how to make them last longer. But first, start off by cutting all of your apple slices. Now, the super simple trick in order to keep your apple slices from browning and just looking very disgusting and unappetizing is to actually chuck them in a nice large bowl, accompanied with some ice water, a lot of ice to keep it cold, and then the water, which we will actually take some lemon juice and squeeze all in there. And then once you mix the lemon in with the apples, it'll help kind of prolong the fresh and crispness of your apple slices. Luckily, me and my mom had the perfect size 3 glass bowls that fit perfectly into our little jack-o'-lantern dishes because they do have faces cut out and you can't really put the sauces directly into it. So I definitely recommend finding nice fitting bowls that'll just slide in there, which you can melt your toppings in. So I'm going to use white chocolate. I'm also going to melt caramel and regular milk chocolate as well for our dipping sauces. And then we will place those into our little jack-o'-lanterns. One other tip is to make sure that the chocolate is extra melty and more thin, perfect for dipping instead of like more chunky, is just to add a little bit of vegetable oil so that it'll be nice and more kind of like a runny consistency. And then we heat it up in the microwave for about 30 seconds. That's all it really needed. And then you have the perfect apple dipping sauces. Now that the dipping sauces are nice and melted and in the jack-o'-lantern, in order to keep them dippable, just light the tea lights underneath them so that they stay nice, warm, and runny. Once the apples are nice and displayed on their tray and the candy has been poured into your little candy dishes for dipping, then your festive fall delectable caramel apple bar is ready to be devoured. For my 4 toppings, I went with Heath bits, Butterfinger bits. We also have miniature M&Ms and some festive sprinkles, but you can choose really any topping that you want. I would recommend probably some crushed up pretzel because I feel like the salty and sweet would be so good, as well as some peanuts maybe, which is also another great option. But this is just so fun, perfect for any fall or Halloween themed parties that you may have, or even just hosting with friends and family. I hope that you guys enjoyed this festive, delectable, tasty treat video idea and that you guys will use it this fall season, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!